Hey, it's me again. This is our last 2 weeks in Iwakuni before we start moving to the Philippines. I just want to sort of go over some of our stuff, I guess to document for our move what kind of shape it's in. But anyway, you know, stuff like this. This is a very old writer's box, and not everybody knew how to write in Japan. So, but it's probably at least 100 years old, but it's pretty cool. And that's for, I think, soy sauce. And then, obviously my alcohol's not going to go, but this is a slot machine. It's just a toy. And then all this stuff here is, there's some is brass statues, some is copper, a lot of it's iron. These models, this is wood. I seen that in a documentary back in 2003, and I seen the guy in Yokohama. He carves these out of wood, and then some of these are just models like these here. These models were from they started making these models in 1940, and they made them until 1960s. So I don't know, I seen a bunch of them and I just bought them. And there's some more up there. And my brother's train set, another model, and then some crimshaws and fake stuff. Still cool, but that iron stuff, like that iron pot right there, is worth a lot of money. That's a very old lamp from Persia. Some more crimshaws. I like these birds. I don't know why. I just always did. And sake pot. But this thing is like a lot of money. I don't know why. And then Goldus tiger. The house is sort of tore up right now because we're sending stuff to Cebu. Some of the stuff's going to Cebu. Some of it's going to Manila. Those beer bottles right there, I bought those in the States. They were from the time of Washington, George Washington. And I always joke that maybe those bottles were used because George Washington made beer, supposedly. Anyway, we got some other stuff. That pot right there is from some dynasty in Japan, China, but it's supposed to be 2,000 years old. And then my chicken, and my cowboy hat my mom gave me in Tombstone. More pots, more antiques, more brass, more statues. These paintings are pretty cool. Some of this stuff is just, the pots there is for, I buy a lot of rice and beans, and I store them in those pots. More statues. This lamp is cool because it's just, that's just a normal lamp, like a couple hundred years ago. There's a lot of stuff. There's another pot right there. There's a lot of stuff that, I would like to buy because, I just know it's old, and like old heaters and stuff, they're ugly. Nobody knows what they are, so I don't buy them, but I wish I could. These paintings here are the same guy painted 5 of these paintings, and he wrote on the back of the paintings because they were of the Civil War. And if you notice, some of those spears and stuff I have, and supposedly one of these weapons is actually that weapon right there. This one. These are samurai swords. They're probably 100 years old, but they were for decoration. They weren't really real. This is for to wake the gods. at a shrine, and this is a pretty cool axe. I mean, it's just a normal axe, but it's very old, and it wasn't used for battle or anything, but it was just a very old axe, and you know, it cleaned up really good, and you know, it's probably one of the best axe I've ever, or hatchet I've ever seen. I mean, it's very balanced, and can't even describe it. And these knives here, I forgot what this, I forgot what they call that knife, but I guess supposedly the samurai women used it, and I don't know, it's probably a lot of bullshit, but anyway. And the samurai helmet, that samurai helmet I bought from a guy in Tokyo who lived in an apartment, and he just didn't have the room for it anymore, and he said it was in his family, and it was, you know, been in the family since the Civil War, which I'm not sure which Civil War that was, if it was when the you know, if that was from the imperial days or what, but you know, it seemed like before 1870 it was Civil War for 500 years, so I don't know. And then you got these silver ingots, which is 1,000 grams of pure silver, which I thought, you know, they're cool, so they look sort of pretty. I used to collect gold, obviously gold coins, but gold coins are boring when it's in a safe, and I went to buying antiques. So, you know, I just thought at least I can at least display antiques. That gun is like the first firearms that they were using in Japan, and that kind of firearm was used 1,000 years ago. So, well, close to 1,000 years ago. But they said that was a Civil War too, so. And then I got these small statues. I got other stuff upstairs, but these are my main babies. You probably recognize this. I don't know. Back in the 60s, there was a show called Daniel Boone, and I think we bought that at Woolworths, and I still have it. Sometimes I wear it, you know, around Thanksgiving. It's just for fun. So I don't know. It's one of my favorite hats. So this stuff is out because anytime you move, they always get crushed, and nobody's going to crush my hat that my mom gave me. So I have a couple of those I have to deal with, but that one I have to wear because I know it's not going to get crushed on my head. So I think that's about it. This table is a old table. They use this for cooking, and the other one on top of it is also used for cooking. I just put it on top of each other just because I didn't have no place to put it. So I think that's about it. And obviously NASCAR fan Tony Stewart and Jeff Gordon, that's Golda's favorite driver, so that's why that's there. And that's pretty much it. So anyway, that's it for now. If you'll please like and subscribe. We'll talk to you later. Bye.